everybody, it's Dee here for another Adventures in Wildcard Crafty Creations. Hopefully you will have picked up your creative boxes from reception, and so for those of you that don't know me, who've never done one of these little classes or workshops before, my name's Dee Barnes. I work at the Attenborough Arts Centre, which is Leicester University's very own art centres, and we're here today to do a workshop. You've got no idea what it is, so without further ado, I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll open up the box and see what you've got inside this week. Okay, so the extras you need this week are some water. It's going to be quite a messy project, so you want to cover your table with some old magazines, newspapers, old scrap paper, to catch any mess that is made. Let's put the water to one side and let's open up the box and see what's inside. So this week we have one packet of pop bandage, it says on it, one pair of scissors, pot of paint with 2 colours in, a paintbrush, and that's it. Now this week, if we put these things to one side for now, because we're going to start off using the box, so we only need to use this section, the lid section of the box. So I'm going to cut it up. I've got some different scissors here. I'm going to cut the lid off. I'm going to get rid of the box. We don't need that bit. I'm going to cut away the 2 flaps, or 3 flaps actually you'll have. I've already used this box before, so it's already got, and you've got a lip as well which you can cut off. Just tidy up the edges. Now then, you can make this any shape you like. I think I'm going to start off with it like this. You could make it round or oval, but I think I might trim it afterwards. So I'm going to leave it at that now and see what happens when we put the Mod Rock on. So if you want to open up your packet, this is when we need the water. Bring the water in. And take out your bandage. Now what I want you to do is take a length of the bandage, cut a strip off, doesn't really matter how long it is, and we're going to dip it in the water like that. We take it out, let the excess water come off. I'm going to turn my piece this way around. What I want you to do is, we're going to start from the centre. I want you to screw your piece up and we're going to turn it like this. I'm going to get some more water on my fingers and I'm going to put that water. So I've made a spiral, but I want the spiral to have a bit of texture, so I'm going to sort of pinch into the spiral like this. And I'm going to press some bits down and have some bits raised, and I want it quite tight. I'm going to get another piece, another length, and I'm going to do exactly the same. Cut a length off, get it nice and wet, just let the extra drips fall off into the water. I'm kind of screwing it up like this. I'm going to just attach that to the piece I've just laid down, and I'm going to continue wrapping it round like this, and I want to make the spirals quite definite, so I'm wrapping it round and round. If it feels a bit dry, just put a bit of water on your fingers. Wrap it round like that. And if you want to pull while it's still wet, because it does dry quite quickly, just pinch it. You see, I'm just sort of pinching it with my fingertips like this. Okay, and again. Makes a great sound when it gets wet. And we're going to do the same. Just turn it around. So I'm sort of screwing it up. I'm just going to join it like this and start pinching it around again. A bit more water is needed there. Just dipping my fingers in the water. Cut another strip off and keep doing this, cutting strips off, and we're going to create a large circle. I mean, if you've chosen a different shape to make, that's absolutely fine, but the idea is we're making concentric rings around the center shape. And we will keep going. It's nice and relaxing, this. So I'm just going to pop that on there, that little line. Just run it over with my finger so it kind of joins it. water. Actually, we're using this as a kind of just a mat to work on. The piece won't stick to it, I don't think, so we're just using it as a mat, but you'll see what happens when it dries. This mandala that we're making will become solid. Let's make sure that we keep those circles nice and defined. I want to see how much I've got left. I want to save some strips. Let me just cut 2 strips off your roll. I'll show you why we're doing that later. I'm going to save those 2 pieces and I'm going to carry on with this. I'm going to cut this last bit in half, I think. Continue with the mandala shape. You just run your finger back round. I just want it to have a bit of shape, so I'm kind of crimping it with my fingers. So it's already going hard in the middle. I mean, it might stick to this. I'm not convinced it will, so I'm kind of making a provision just in case it doesn't. So let's go back to that piece there. That was the last bit we joined. And continue round. And my last piece which I'm going to join onto there. That was where it finished. Smooth it on and then a bit more water. Where it ends there, I'm just going to tuck that in so you can't see where it ends, but I'll make it defined still. Pull it in. So the centre is already hard. I'm just kind of shaping it so it's not just straight on the edges. Okay, now we're going to leave this to dry. It'll probably take about half an hour. You can just pop it on the windowsill and we'll see if it sticks to this or not. If it does, it's a bonus. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. Okay, so just leave that to dry for a little bit. Neither, if you've got a hairdryer, you can put a hairdryer on it, or if it's a nice sunny day, put it in the sun or on your windowsill where there's a breeze, somewhere where it can dry out for a little while. Okay, so I left that for about 10 minutes, and let's just pick it up and see what happens if we start to peel off the back of the card. We're left with a bit of the card on, which is absolutely fine. Oh, it is coming off. What's quite nice is it's almost a solid piece. So before it dries, you can peel that off. I mean, it might come off easier with the... So actually, we don't need those other two strips. If you want to use the other strips that we cut up, what I was going to do, because I wasn't quite sure what it was going to look like on the back, was just cover this back panel with those two pieces, which you can do, but looking at it, it's come out nice and solid, so we don't really need to. Just going to peel that off. Probably come off as well if it's all dry. And also you can paint the back with the paints that I've given you. So you can continue taking that off. But as you can see, it's dried as one solid piece, which is perfect. So don't worry too much if it doesn't come off. If you've left it overnight and it's dried to it, doesn't matter because it's the underside anyway. Okay, so let's turn it over. Let's pop those over there and bring in our paint. So now I've got two colours here. I've got orange and white. You will be given a white, but I might not do orange. I might do a different colour. That will be a surprise for you. So I'm going to start off with the dark colour, and I'm going to start painting the inside of my circle or mandala. And get the brush right in there. If you want to add a drop of water, you can, to spread it out a bit. The colour that I've given you, I won't give you so much because they're really strong, these colours. You don't need very much because what we're going to do is we're going to add some white to it. And basically what we're going to do is try and blend it so that it starts off dark and gets lighter towards the edges. So by the time you've got to the edge, oops, it's a pastel colour. Now this is a nice acrylic paint, so it will kind of give almost like a varnished surface to the piece, which again reinforces it, makes it stronger. I'm going to do the white on the edges first. I'm going to add a bit of orange now. So this is like a kind of sun mandala, but if I give you a different colour, you can just grade it like this. So the strong colour starts off in the middle, and as you work towards the edges it gets lighter. And of course it's up to you how strong you make the colour. If you find you've put too much colour on, just add a bit more white and blend it in. And get into all the little cracks and crevices that you've made. Now I want that orange a bit darker in the middle, so I'm going to put a bit more on there. And then I want it to be a bit bigger, I think. A dark colour. Well, that's better. Let's turn it round. And I can see into the underside. Bit more white. Just have a play about. It's great fun, this bit. And make sure that you get the edges. Blend it in, just keep brushing over and over and over it. A bit darker in the middle. Yeah, I'm going to put that paint right round there. I would pick it up, but of course then I'm going to get paint all over my hands, so I'm just going to do it while it's sitting down. And then when this is dry, you can paint the back with the rest of your paint as well. Now this is either something you can just have on your desk, you can use it as something to rest a cup or a pot on, or you could attach it to the wall as a little artwork. I mean, I would just use up all the paint, because the more paint it has on it, the stronger it's going to be. I really want that to be white on the edge. Okay, oops. Let's just leave that to dry once again. set that to one side. Just put your paintbrush in the water so it doesn't dry out, and put the lid back on your paint while you're waiting for this side to dry out before we turn it over and paint the back. I'm just going to put mine on the windowsill in front of the window. Okay, so that's the front of my mandala spiral plaque. Here's the back. So I'm going to paint the back now. I'm going to open my paints, get my paintbrush out of the water, and I think I'm going to do the opposite this time. So I'm going to put the dark colour on the outside, and put a bit of water on there, make it go far enough, go right up to the edges. I mean, you won't see this because it's the back of it, but you'll know it's there. So if you decide to turn it over and use it on this side, you'll know it's been painted. Actually, we could do anything here quite like that. Lighter on the middle ring. And then maybe darker in the middle, or maybe not. Oh, it looks the same colour now. Let's do it a bit lighter on the inside. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to set that to one side to dry, and that's pretty much it when it's finished. There you have your mandala plaque. You can either put that on the wall or you can use it as a mat to put a plant pot on or something like that. I wouldn't get it wet though, because well, I suppose the acrylic does make it waterproof. Anyway, it's up to you what you want to do with it, isn't it? So thank you for joining me this week for your Creative Wildcard class. Let's just have a look at it. Here's our beautiful mandala plaque, which was quite good fun to make. And I hope you enjoyed that. I think it'll look more impressive when it's up, like a real artwork when it's up on the wall or propped up on your desk perhaps. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for this week. So this is Dee saying goodbye, and stay safe, stay well and stay creative until we meet again. We will continue to be dropping the boxes off, your creative boxes off every week, unless you're told otherwise, and hopefully see you at some point this year. Okay, so that's me signing off for now. Bye.